Hi, guys.
Hi, how are we doing tonight, Johnny?
Awesome. Welcome to podcast episode number 76 of SmashBoxx. We are live at the Memorial. Well, I'm not. I'm kind of sitting in my basement where I've been all day. You guys are out there enjoying the beautiful weather. You're sitting with a beautiful man, Paul Ulibarri.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You know what's pretty about Paul here, besides his good looks and stature?
His
golf
outfit
game.
and his golf game. His hat. Those
Yeah.
headphones.
Yeah, he's sporting the
I'm just bumping.
the normal disc golf guy headphones. So, yeah, again, everyone, I just want to say welcome as well. Joined by Paul Ulibarri. We are currently at Boulders on Southern. We're just in our first day of podcasting, doing our daily wrap-up. This podcast is actually brought to you tonight by Monster House Disc and Dies. I'd like to thank Charles Holtz out of Illinois. He was gracious enough to step up along with a few others, and he is our presenting sponsor of tonight's podcast. So do us a favor, go out and thank Charles Holtz of Illinois. He's the owner of Monster House Disc and Dies, and just super great guy. Thanks for supporting SmashBoxxTV's podcast tonight. So with that, Uli, let's get down to some business. Talk a little bit about your round today out at Fountain Hills.
Yeah, the round started off a little shaky. I was a little nervous on the first tee. I always am at this tournament. This tournament means a lot to me, but I took a bogey on the first hole. I felt pretty fortunate. I threw a really bad shot and actually caught some wind, so it didn't turn into like a Nate Doss 8.
Ouch. No.
But played the front nine, I think even par, and then had a really
And he said things were just moving along nicely for him. Once I realized Nate actually played with Nico. So for the longest time, the two hottest scores that came in were also shot on the same card. He said,
I didn't know that.
yeah, that they were just kind of gelling and everything was moving along smoothly. And so between the two of them shooting 24 under on their card is some pretty good golf.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. And in the later rounds, I believe the wind picked up quite significantly.
Yep.
I wasn't there earlier, but from the rumors that I heard around the courses, it was pretty calm early, and then the later tee times were kind of hit with the evening wind. So.
Okay. Well, we'll catch up with your wife, who's leading in the women's division. We're going to be following them live on SmashBoxx tomorrow afternoon out at Fiesta Lakes. So if we get a chance, maybe we'll get her to step inside the podcast SmashBoxx here tonight, and we'll catch up with her. So thanks to you, we've got these new Yuli's picks that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Johnny, do you have the scores? Can you recap what happened last weekend for us?
Last weekend, I don't have them handy. Give me we'll talk about that after we make our picks for this week as I bring them up.
Okay, so you and I, because knowing we were going to do the podcast here on Wednesday night, we had to make our picks prior to today. So you and I shot the video. We did that, I believe, on Monday. And so we've got that. We're going to play that for everyone. But before we do that, Johnny, do you have your picks?
I do have my picks.
All right.
Yeah. So
why don't do you want to share yours first?
It doesn't matter to me. How do we want to do this? We can.
Go ahead. I want to hear yours.
Okay.
I honestly,
of us and I haven't. I have the video that you guys made earlier this week. I haven't looked at it. I sent my picks to you guys, so you guys know I'm being honest here.
Yep.
So I went with the big shocker, first place, Paul Macbeth, and so far, I'm doing all right with that one. Second place, Ricky Wysocki. So he needs.
And where's Rick at after day one here?
He's
looks
not very
like
far behind. I think he shot a 47.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He's at 9 under. Looks like
he's a couple back.
Arguably on the second card. Okay.
Third place, I went with the hot hand, Philo. who's been playing really well lately. And
Who is currently tied with
Yes.
Wysocki, so there you go.
And last and certainly not least, Paul Yu. You, Paul.
Wow.
Paul Ulabari. Fourth
wow,
place.
I'm flattered.
Yeah,
Paul's picks.
Paul's picks. Yuli's
Paul's-
picks.
Yeah. All right. Well, Yuli's getting picked in Yuli's picks. Johnny, we can't see the video, so if you want to go ahead and cue it up and let us know,
I will.
we'll let everyone know what Paul and I did
All right.
on Monday.
Here we go.
Hey, Smashies. We're out here at Fountain Hills in Arizona. I'm joined by our star of Yuli's picks. That's Yuli, Paul Uliberry.
Hey, how you doing?
Paul, we're going to get right to the picks. We're out here on Monday,
Yeah.
so we had to get the picks pre-recorded. We got to do it in person, and by the time they're seeing it, it's Wednesday afternoon. So we're either on the right track already or we're not.
Right.
You or me first on the picks for this week's Memorial.
Well, I'll go first.
All right, loud and clear.
All right, in 4th place, I'm picking Jeremy Colling to have another solid finish at the Memorial. I don't think he's going to quite show the spectacular shots he did last year to pull off the victory, but I think he's going to have a solid tournament.
So he may have more than 0 OBs that he had last year. Is that what you're saying?
Right, yep.
All right, he's calling that.
3rd place, I'm actually going to pick somebody who hasn't been in the picks lately, Simon Lizotte. I think he's coming off a couple tough finishes the last 2 weekends, but I think he's going to kind of pull out in front and maybe get rid of the first tournament jitters.
Okay, okay.
2nd place is going to be Will Schusterick.
Will Schusterick, previous champion
Previous champion, he's always in the hunt, it seems like, coming down the stretch of these tournaments. These courses are throwers courses, in my opinion. You got to stay away from the OB, and I think Will's going to be on his game. And then in 1st place, I'm going to be picking Ricky Wysocki.
Oh, not you.
Not me. The last few years, I think 3 years in a row, I actually haven't even cracked the top 10 at my home course. So if I could upset my picks this week, I would be ecstatic. But I'm looking for a nice solid top 10 finish to get my year started. I have a couple new things that I'm implementing into my game, and yeah, those are my picks.
Are you going to tell me another new putt?
No.
Okay, not a new putt. All right, solid picks. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to work down because I can't think like you can backwards. That was pretty clever. I know it's not a big surprise, but I got to take this as Paul's. We're going to take Macbeth as number 1. I think he's ready. He's obviously proven he can do it here. He can do it anywhere. I'm going to say this is going to be a Macbeth year. He goes every other year, I think, is what it seems like. You know, you said Schusterick, you had Colling in there, and Macbeth's been the one spoiler. So I'm going to go with Macbeth in first. 2nd place, I'm going to go with Doss.
Oh, that's
Nate
a good pick.
Doss.
That's a solid pick.
The one guy in the world that's probably ever gone from getting a hole-in-one on a hole and also taking an 8 on the same hole at any National Tour event. Nate cracked into the top 10 of the Sports Center last year. I think he's going to crack 2nd place this year.
Okay.
3rd place, I'm going to go with my boy, Steve Rico.
Okay.
He's been out here practicing in a tank top. I think
that really helps the game.
It does. It gets him geared up. Steve Rico, as you know, he's a competitor everywhere he goes. I'm going to take Steve Rico. And in 4th place, gosh, even your picks got me wavering, but I'm sticking with my 4th place. I'm going to say that's going to be Schusterick.
Okay.
Like you said, it's a thrower's course. He can do it. He can throw as far or further than everyone else. If he can stay out of bounds like Colling did last year, he's going to have a good, solid event as well. So there you have it. Those are our picks for this week. We're going to get Johnny's as well. We're going to keep rolling. This is Smashbox and Yuli's picks out here at the Memorial.
Thanks, Terry.
Hey.
Well, you guys made some picks.
We did. I have to admit, can you fully recap? Do you remember everyone you picked?
I think I do,
Okay.
but
It
was a little shaky. Somebody asked me later, and I was like, I think I picked.
Well, we went back and forth, and that was all of 2 days ago, I know. But you and I struggled with it just simply because there's so many talented players.
Absolutely.
People like Philo, who's coming off last weekend, who was shooting hot. Obviously had a solid opening round. Everybody's talking about is Wysocki refueled or fired up? You know, people are talking about is Schustrick fired up? You know, the whole LA Times article, all that kind of stuff. So solid opening round for a lot of guys out here at Fountain. I know you don't always think numbers, but how did your round feel to you today overall? You know, would you be comfortable with that number? Do you feel like you could get a few more, maybe subtracting hole one?
Yeah, no, I think the round was solid. I mean, it definitely didn't lose me the tournament, and that's really, one of the main goals for us to start off is sure you can start off hot, and that's great, but it's even worse when you post like a 53 or something.
Sure.
So I was actually happy. Last year I started off I think with a 53, so I pretty much lost in the first round. And so yeah, I'm definitely happy with this.
Okay, so tomorrow you're moving over to Fiesta Lakes along with the pro women. Again, we're going to be following the pro women, but that's a scoring course for sure.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of birdies out there to go out and be had. Is there any specific game or strategy that you think when you're out there? I mean,
you just got to take them when they come. There's going to be some hot rounds. I mean, guaranteed. All the best players in the world are here, and they're going to be bringing their A game, and you just kind of can't shoot yourself out of it. I think the third day is going to be the moving day, and position day, and then the final round. Obviously, you got to show up. So I don't think there's an exact score, but 8 or better. I'm guessing it definitely at Fiesta tomorrow.
And last year, while covering Fiesta Lakes, we watched Simon Lizotte. I think he literally missed one hole or one putt, and just tore it up, throughout, and was able to jump out to a lead with that phenomenal round that he had. Now, I'll admit, I haven't spent a lot of time at Fiesta this year. We were running around doing other stuff. Any changes out there that people are going to be seeing tomorrow?
I got one practice round out there, and it looked the same. Pretty much all the same. They didn't have the OB marked on 18, so I don't know what that's going to look like.
Sure.
But, I mean, it's a 180 foot hole. I don't know what kind of crazy stuff they could really do there.
Well, and the funny thing is, you being a local, you being such a solid player, you actually really didn't practice too hard. You didn't go out and dial things in for the last 2 or 3 days, really, did you? I mean, you kind of took it easy.
I mean, no, not the last few days.
Okay.
But, I mean, collectively, I've probably played thousands of rounds on all these courses. I was actually talking to Nate Doss today in the field, and he said he does the same thing at De La. Like the day before, he might go out and do a practice round, and then he really doesn't overwork himself because he's played it for 16 straight years. Or
Exactly.
Straight years,
So I've got to ask, I know you are a very competitive man, and you're a very solid putter. We're going to grab the putting contest qualifying sheet right here, if you could grab that. Let's read some of the details and the rules. So we're here at Boulders on Southern, and there's a putting contest going on. Qualifying's from 7 to 9 this time, and it says 5 stations, 2 throws per, and 1 bonus Ultra Star. And they literally mean an Ultra Star,
like the lid.
Like Discraft Ultimate Disc. That's the bonus shot.
Yeah.
Does that mess everybody up, or do you get it dialed in?
I haven't seen anybody make it yet.
Okay.
But with the way the points work, I'm pretty sure if you just make the Ultra Star, you win.
Okay.
Basically. Like it's like 2 points, 4 points, maybe 5 points, and then 10 points if you make the Ultra Star.
Okay. Well, it's $5 per turn, and you can keep doing it. So if you may post a good score, you want to come back out and try and post another score, you can. Top 4 make it to the semifinals, and then, top 3 make it to the finals and get paid.
Right.
So somebody's getting a big hug there, and I think it's 4th place. $250 for first place, $150 for second, and $100 for third. I've got to ask, do you have a score on the board yet?
I don't have a score on the board, and I think they were actually just calling my name.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to get in back of the line.
All right. Well, Paul, we're going to let you go. Hopefully your wonderful wife and leader can possibly join us. If not, we've also got a number of special guests that we're going to have step inside the Smashbox here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys, and make your Yuli picks. Post them all over Terry's wall again, like I said.
All right. Thanks for joining us, buddy. All right. We'll catch you with you later in the week, maybe. All right. Of course, Paul Ulibarri talking about Yuli's picks.
He's.
We're enjoying it. People are getting into it.
People were. Yeah. I mean, if anyone wants to join us, you can always go to SmashBoxxTV/picks. And you can make your own picks for the upcoming events. The next week we have the World Tour event, and I forget there's one more after that. I forget which one it was, but they're out there on the website. So go out there and make your picks, compete against us. To follow up on something that was asked earlier, right now, as far as where totals are, last week, Terry, you got the goose egg.
Wait a minute. So are you telling me I went from 4 perfect picks in a row,
Yeah.
all in order, all the right people, the maximum amount of points to give me 12? I went from hero to 0?
Very quickly. Like
I don't like that.
You fell like a lead balloon.
I don't like that.
No, and nor should you.
Okay.
But the what's going to be good for you is that Uli and I only got 1 pick each. So,
okay, 1 point each.
1 point
so
each.
although I got 0,
Yep.
you both got just 1.
Yeah,
okay.
because last
I
week
can handle that.
Last week's gentlemen's went Philo, Matt Bell, Matt Oram, and Zachariah Johnson. I picked Philo in the wrong spot, and Uli picked Oram in the wrong spot. So we each got 1 point. But
Okay, well, we're going to move on from Yuli's picks over to Katrina Allen. And Katrina, first of all, congratulations on a solid round out there today.
Thank you.
So I know I caught up with you during the live broadcast, but now we have 300 people watching us even during the podcast. You busted out a 51 out at Fountain. Tell everyone what you thought about your round and what went right for you.
Well, I played kind of like what we talked about earlier today. I played that one-day tournament here earlier this year. And I decided that I was going to just, like I said, lay up, just try to play smoother on that fountain. So I started with that game plan, and it was going well. And then, like I told you, the Whammo guy decided to set up on hole 5's basket.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why I didn't just wait, but I was like, oh, I guess I'll just stable up so at Heiser's earlier I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I hit the tree in front of my face, straight down OB, so I had to re-tee. And I was upset after that because I missed my putt to save the bogey. And I don't know, then I just found a good mental place where I decided that that wasn't going to determine the week for me. And played pretty solid all the way to about 11. And then we had a nice wind behind us going into the back where all the birdie opportunities are with less trouble. And birdied from, I guess, 14 to 16.
Yep. 14, 15, 16, and 17.
And then I got 17.
Yes. And that's, I mean, the hole is maybe marked at 480, 490, maybe 500, but it throws less than that because it's downhill.
Yeah.
But how close were you on that green?
Well, I was pen high, but I was right.
Okay.
50.
And wow, 50 feet to the right. And then did you have the tree to contend with?
I did. And in practice, I was playing with Timu Nisanen, and I was in the circle, 25 feet with the tree. And the only way to make it was to bank it off of the tree and go in. And so I looked at my group, and the girls were like, really want me to go for this putt, you know? And I'm like, the only way I know to make it is to go off the tree. And they're like, do it. And I'm like, I can't. If it wasn't an NT, I would do it. But so I just threw up a little Heiser putt, and it barely went around the tree and just kind of snuck in somehow. I didn't actually see it go in.
It's a 2 on the scorecard. That's all that matters now, right?
No pictures.
Well, that's awesome. Now, as we've been telling everyone, we're really excited. Tomorrow we're going to go out to Fiesta Lakes. We're going to be following around your card, the women's lead card. And, you know, I was just talking to Paul about it. There's a lot of room for people to go out and score well out there.
Yep.
There's a lot of birdie opportunities. And the holes, not that you're not, I mean, you're one of the furthest throwing people in the game, men or women. But the holes, I think you can attack them, and you probably can have a little bit more fun with them, or do you think they're a little more dangerous for you?
No, I think for the most part, at least, let's see, the first, what is it, 1, 2, 3, the first 5 I'm attacking.
Okay.
I mean, not a lot of trouble. And then you get the 2 par 4s back to back, which have some trouble, but
Yep.
I have a pretty solid game plan on those. So a few birdie holes on the back that could be 2s or 4s.
Sure.
You have the green, the water, so.
So looking at your scores, I'm going to pull it up because earlier today when we were talking on the broadcast, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that that's anything new, but what we can pull
So I
up.
was pretty close. I just was off by a stroke.
No, and like I said, I didn't know what I was talking about by any means. You had a 500 par, unofficially rated 1,005, and we're going to get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Then joining you on the leader card, we've got Paige Pierce, who had a 1 under. We have Melody, is it Wable?
That's what I
She's
thinking.
previously King.
King.
So for those out there who know Melody from, we'll say a few of yesteryear,
Yep.
as I did, she's now Melody Wable. She's married. So she shot a +1. And then Jennifer Allen and Val Jenkins have tied at +3. And then Hannah Leatherman, Sarah Holcomb, Vanessa Van Dyken, Leslie Todd. It's all very, very tight right
Nice.
behind them. But so on the leader card as of right now, I don't know if they officially have determined it. You're either going to have, it's for sure you, Paige, Melody, and then either Jennifer or Val. Probably Jennifer Allen.
I didn't
Lower
know
PDGA
Jennifer had a
number
lower
and Larry.
PDGA number.
She's old school, and a
All
lot of
right.
people don't necessarily know that.
No.
Jennifer Allen out of Oklahoma, who's been touring around a little bit more.
Yep.
She's an old school disc golfer, so I think she'll be on that leader card with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that should be exciting.
That'd be fun. Yep.
So now I saw you out on the course. You were walking around. You talked with me, and you're walking around watching Paul. Was that relaxing for you? How did that afternoon for you, or is that tense because the way he's playing, or what? How does that make you feel?
I'm actually more nervous watching Paul than I ever am.
Playing yourself.
Ever. No matter how big the tournament, no matter what it is, and I don't know if it's just because I obviously want him to do well.
But you can't affect anything he's doing, so maybe that's why.
So maybe it's because it's out of my control.
Exactly.
And today I found if I would get caught up talking, he would like birdie. And so then I just made it a point to like, oh hey, no, I didn't see your birdies.
Oh, but
Yes.
keep it up.
Keep it
No,
up.
that's true love. What I wanted to say regarding asking that question and talking about Val Jenkins, she posted a picture that this afternoon she was laying poolside watching the action on the card of
Okay.
Nate Doss, her
Okay.
husband, of course.
Yep.
She was just relaxing, watching it on SmashBox. So as
Yep.
you two both went at it with slightly different approaches, you out there walking around, and she's enjoying it, as she should be.
Yeah.
You guys had a very early round. Now,
Yeah.
Madison Walker was my co-commentator today, and I'll say for the 100th time, thank you, Madison. You were awesome. We appreciate it, and we'd love to have you back. So she was co-commentating. She was like the first group at 7:08.
7:08. I think it was.
You know, she barely got a lunch and then came right back out to commentate. You guys were up early today.
Yeah. I think my alarm went off at 4:45.
What?
Yep. I have to shower in the morning.
I'm with you on that.
No
okay.
matter what.
No matter what.
Well, just especially actually, the earlier I wake up, the more important the shower is because it wakes you up.
It gets you going.
Gets me going. Yep.
I love that thinking. All right, so the one thing I did want to bring back to you real quick, you 1,005 round, you shoot plenty of 1,000 rated rounds, but just 2 or 3 years ago, did you set, at the time at least, you set the record for the highest rated women's round ever during a round here at this tournament. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but
I don't know if it still holds, but I know you did at one point.
and I was confused about that because actually in 2012 I shot a 1058.
Okay, that sounds right.
So-
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, at Worlds and not
No,
here.
I'm thinking when you busted out like a ridiculous round here. Don't make me look you
It
up.
was at Vista and it was a 52, but I don't think it was rated higher than my.
Oh, come on.
10:58.
It was,
No, it really wasn't
what was the year you got sick?
that year.
Was that 2012 or 2013? Okay, so now we're going to go look you up. You know, Johnny V and I love it. We do some research on the air. Gentlemen's Club Memorial. You killed it.
And
You
actually,
killed it.
so Zoe Andyke is sick,
And now she's not feeling
and
well.
I'm like, I shot good. Keep your yeah.
All right, yeah. Anyway, so let's look at some of your rounds. Yeah, you had a shot at 52, which was a 1035 rated round.
I think what the thing was the highest. I don't know how it all works with the SSA.
Sure.
And I'm not a scientist, and
Nobody, yeah.
I don't think I'll ever understand ratings.
But I'm within the SSA
Yes, within
range.
the SSA range.
You set the record for the highest rated round for that SSA range.
Yes, that is okay.
Or otherwise, Chuck Kennedy, strike me down. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. No, that was awesome. And then you ended up getting sick and whatever.
I thought it was food poisoning, but the more I look back, Robbie was staying with us, and he got the 24-hour flu, and then after the memorial, Paul got the 24-hour flu, and so I think I just happened to get it.
Yeah, well, and last year when I was here in warm-ups, I had the 24-hour flu that started on Sunday and was gone by Monday. So, and now I just have a raspy voice because I'm getting over a little bit of a cold.
It's a little dry out here
And
as
it's
well.
a lot dry. Yeah, it's exactly it. So anything you'd like to add? I'm going to be hounding you with questions tomorrow. There's going to be a ton of people out watching. Anything you'd like to add, though, here tonight? What does it feel like going to bed, laying your head down, resting after a long, tiring day, and you're putting your head down with the lead? I think you get more nervous, don't you? Or a little more anxious with the lead, or not really?
I mean, yeah, but I think it won't matter tonight. I'm gonna sleep so good.
Yeah, that's true.
Between the sun and the early morning, and yeah, no, but I just, once again, like I said earlier, all the messages I receive from friends, family, fans, which I don't consider fans. You guys are like friends. And family to me. Yep. And so that means a lot. I appreciate those. And
All right.
thanks for being here.
Awesome. Well, again, we're going to have her out here tomorrow. Johnny V, you got any questions here for Kat that I haven't already addressed?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much nailed everything. Do we know what time you guys are teeing off tomorrow?
I don't think it's official. We were just on the PDGA page as I'm searching around. I don't think it's 2-ish.
That we'll switch. Well, not switch with the men, but we'll be the last.
Yeah, you'll be the
that's what
latter.
I've heard.
All right, that's what I was pretty sure, but I figured we'd share it with everybody out there so they know as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get the final word. We're gonna get a link posted just like we did last night. We'll get all of that stuff created, and if everything's running on time, we'll come in probably just a few minutes before the women tee off. We'll get some interviews and talk to them, and excited to watch the round at Fiesta.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, this is Katrina Allen. She's your leader right now, busting out a 1,005 rated -5 at the Fountain Hills course. We're gonna let her go now and get some good rest tonight.
Okay.
You got some golf to play tomorrow.
Thank you.
Keep
All
up
right,
the good
thank you.
work.
Bye, John.
Bye.
All right, careful right here. There's a, yep.
Got it.
All right. And this is a special treat, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in.
A special treat.
Johnny,
Not
a special
another
treat.
Not
Careful, there's
another guy who's going to jump behind us and shake around.
No, not some random video bomber. Put on the headphones,
All right,
buddy.
let's see it.
Oh, it's
If you don't know, you don't know Smashbox, who our next guest is. This is, in fact, the one and only Jordan Castro. Jordan, that's your camera, buddy. Here's your mic.
Sweet.
Welcome. Step
Thanks.
inside.
Yeah.
Stepped inside. How you doing?
Doing good.
This is a
All
long time
right.
coming, Jordan. We've invited you on a couple times, like last year, and you were never able to make it. Now you're finally on. You're finally able to, and you shot a pretty good round today, from what I saw.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, you shot yourself a 6 under. I'm just looking at some scores.
Yep.
6 under par of 50, so 1,015 rated round. How did that feel for you?
It felt really good. This dry heat got me a blister on my finger, so it blew up today on the first hole. So I taped it up, and I was really happy with it. Battle back from the pain and stuff. So it was awesome.
There's some irony that you are from Minnesota. Me and Johnny are from Wisconsin. Yeah, here we had to get all the way to Arizona just to get you on the podcast.
Yeah, correct.
But for good reason. So one thing I've got to ask about, and I know you've been asked about it yourself, is how in the world do you like everything as fast as you do on Facebook?
Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly don't know how to do it to myself.
You're like
too.
the king of likers.
That's true. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
He's
You're good at
got
it.
no
We
response.
appreciate it.
He's
Everybody
just
appreciates it.
he's just there every minute. He'll make sure that you feel appreciated.
I just want you to see me that I pay attention to yourself.
No, we appreciate it. No, but you're out there and you have been on tour or traveled around a little bit here. You're continuing to lead that lifestyle. And what's been the most exciting part for you recently?
Just traveling and meeting new people and seeing the world finally. Just young and got some stuff going, so really excited. Got some huge plans for the summer all over, so I got some announcements coming up soon. So
announcements.
Yeah.
Are you gonna announce them on SmashBoxx?
We might have to do that. Work something out for that.
You might have to, he says. You know, everybody breaks their news here.
Yeah, yep. Never know what's going to happen in 2016.
Yeah, there you go. That's one of the famous lines. So we're here at the player party.
Yeah.
People are doing the putting competition. Have you qualified or tried?
I did not try. I was trying to take it easy on the finger tonight and just get it moistured and everything. Just trying to heal it for tomorrow.
Okay. Playing it smart, relaxing. We were just talking with Kat. We know the women aren't going to be at the 7 a.m. time frame. The men are going to tee off. You're going to be safe from that. You're going to probably be in the
probably 10,
10-ish.
11, give or take.
All right. And when you come down here to Arizona to get out of the Wisconsin and the Midwest and the Minnesota weather, where do you guys stay? What's your game plan when are you here with a bunch of guys from Minnesota?
We're staying with the local, so he's really nice to us and he's awesome. So in this community, we got invited to his league and I tore that up. So
nice.
So it's been a blast down here. The community and everything's just so awesome down here. So it's
Jordan,
back home. So.
Jordan, someone's asking on the board, how old are you?
I am 22 years old.
22. So we hear
he's only 22.
22. Yeah.
I mean, we
just turned 22.
We hear a lot about the Drew Gibsons and the Eagle McMahon and Anthony Barella as all these young guns, but nobody seems to mention you in that group. I just don't know if there's not aware of your age or if you just haven't hit the big time scene yet. What do you think about that?
I think it's a little bit of everything. So, I mean, just got so busy up with work and this and that. So just. I don't know really what's going on, so it's whatever.
I think as Riff Raff said, I'm about to blow up and act.
The phone's blowing up already.
Yeah, there you go.
It's liking stuff already.
Well, there's a bunch of people out there. We're looking forward to a really good week. Any specific game plan? Other than staying in bounds and taking birdies when you can. Anything outside of that that's insightful for us?
Just play safe, stick to the game plan. I mean, I lost a couple discs already, so hopefully they show up. But I got plenty of backups. So.
And did you fly or drive out here?
We drove out here, 22 hours. So.
Yeah, that's. What are your plans after this?
After this, I'm gonna go home for about a month and a half work, then probably tour this summer. Couple people, so
okay, it's gonna be traveling around and doing a bunch of stuff. The Pro Tour is in your backyard.
Yep, exactly.
Minnesota, Ledgestone, Wisconsin, of course. That's pretty much all on your radar.
Yep, exactly. I signed up for the Pro Tour pass, so
there you go.
Met up with Steve a couple days ago down here, so really looking forward to that.
All right. One of the questions on here, we're not gonna get into too far, but give us, what's your go-to driver and putter?
Right now, my go-to driver is an Enforcer, and my go-to putter right now is the Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet, which is a new disc.
So trying them out during the winter, just felt it, and I was like, I like it. So
okay, I lied. I'm gonna give you another question. Only because I haven't been to Vision Quest.
Okay.
I've heard about it. I've seen a few photos. I've seen the crazy stuff posted. I've seen BRP, Blue Ribbon Pines. Both will be featured for the Pro Tour.
Yes, correct.
So tell me, Blue Ribbon Pines or Vision Quest?
I personally like Vision Quest now. It's just a perfect course. It's like BRP's older brother. It has like the same shots, but the scenery, the holes. Kale did a great job designing and helping out. And it's literally like 2 miles away from BRP. So it should be awesome for traveling for the Majestic, the Pro Tour.
That's awesome. Well, great. So everyone, we all know, I mean, we're state brothers here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong. If you wanted to go play some of the best golf around and get in the most courses in the least amount of time, you could spend a month in Minnesota, a month in Iowa, a month in Illinois, a month in Wisconsin. Well, skip Illinois.
We're really privileged in the Midwest to
There's
have so many courses.
solid courses.
Drive 2 hours, play 10
hundreds
different
of courses if you go in a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Any shout outs you got to say to everyone else? You got a ton of fans out there.
Yep,
give some shout outs.
I see the boards just going off. So phone's blowing up. So it's cool to see him actually be here for the first time.
Yeah, usually you're writing on the other side.
Yeah, usually I was up there a little while ago, and all of a sudden I turn around and I'm like, hey, we want to interview. So
There you go.
Yeah, you
All
even,
right,
got,
yeah,
you even got your very own Smashbox highlight today. You were featured on hole 2, and you got yourself a birdie. So
I checked my phone after the round. I had like 42 notifications, 15 Snapchats, messages, texts, and everything.
Well, you're well loved,
Yeah.
and we appreciate,
Thank
buddy.
you, appreciate it.
It's been exciting. We've known about you for a while, but seeing that Smashbox for the longest time, you were the single most viewed Smashboxer out there.
Yeah.
You know, by being at the AM Championships in Minnesota. Then when we went and covered the AM Worlds, you were like a household name on Smashbox.
Yeah, exactly. It was
great to see.
Quite a fun time. So.
All right, we're gonna cut you loose.
Yeah.
Thanks again for
Yeah,
joining
thanks
us.
for having me.
We wish you the
Appreciate
best
it.
of luck the rest of the week, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right,
Appreciate it.
take care.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Grab that. Don't trip on the bench on the way out. So, as we said, Jordan Castro, beloved by everyone, and so glad that he could join us here in person. I'm glad we got that opportunity. I think we're going to have a conversation sometime soon. I've been talking about her a lot, and rightfully so. Besides her amazing product, she's been tearing it up on the golf course. And Johnny, be very careful. There's something right there. Yep. Okay.
I think you need to put
And
yellow
next-
caution tape or something over there.
No. Next to step inside the Smashbox, we are joined by Mrs. Whale Sack herself, Tina Denitis.
What's up?
How are we doing tonight?
I'm wonderful.
All right.
Happy as always.
Yeah, you should be. So, Tina, I just said we talk about the Whale Sack product. We love it. It's great. It helps out so many different people. But now, besides that, you're tearing it up on the golf course. You got like 13 wins in a row in the last 3 weeks?
I don't think that's quite it. But
Okay.
It's
All right.
pretty close.
The last couple of
2.
weeks been very successful. Wintertime and then Gentlemen's Club.
Absolutely.
2 events I have yet to get to. Kind of give us a quick recap on your experience at them.
I hit the tour season. Well, I guess that was my second tournament, pretty much for the first leg. But wintertime was awesome. I don't play open that often, and I got four women, and it just worked out really well. I played well.
Okay.
And that's
Playing
it.
well
It's
and
coming
winning.
together.
That
I've been
means
training in Arizona for pretty much the last 6 months, so it's worked in my favor.
okay.
First open win, not expecting it, but super happy about it. And then Gentlemen's Club, awesome event.
Good.
Big A tier. We had 12 women in my division, and I think the third day I made up 8 strokes to
Wow.
move up to first place, and just made up another stroke on the last day. It was pretty cool.
So,
First A tier win for sure.
congratulations,
Thank
of course. And one thing that was talked about at the National Tour Clinic yesterday, and I've said this for many years, to use Coling, I'm going to quote Coling. Somebody help me. No. But he talked about winning, and he talked about learning how to win. And there's a lot of ways to do that. There's learning to win when you have a lead and you're holding it. There's learning to win when you come from behind. There's learning to win when it's a blowout versus a battle. Like, those are all real situations.
They're really different.
And they're very
Every
different.
single one of them.
Exactly. So it's good that you're experiencing all these things. You're obviously playing well, but it's good that you're experiencing all these different levels. Now, where do you lie when it comes to, I think I want to dabble in open, or I may or may not? Is it just going to come down to the number of women at an event?
No, it's more about schedule at this point.
Okay.
I've had a lot of people encourage me to move to open. I can play there, but I still make really silly mistakes so often, and I want to learn this pressure before I'm playing the giant events with, the top players that I know definitely have skills above mine. So it's more of a schedule thing right now, but I also want to take the opportunity to learn from the open women, gather my skills from them, and further my game that way. And until that's all solidified, I'll probably stick with AM for the rest of this year. Plus, I haven't played AM Worlds yet, and I want to do that this year. So.
Perfect. And there was a couple different responses during that clinic yesterday. my take on it always is move up when you're comfortable. Do what feels really right to you. A lot of the people, it was Paige Pierce, it was Dave Felberg, it was John Baldwin and Jeremy Colling. And I think Colling or someone else had said, don't let peer pressure, move you anywhere. Get comfortable. Exactly, and do all those things. I think what happens a lot is people have a little bit of success, and then immediately, just because they were successful, they want to get, people want to pressure them into the next division.
Right.
Their rating may not reflect where the next division really is yet.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And I am at a point too, I'm definitely am playing pro in that anything I cash out, I sell, and that's kind of how I survive right now, other than whale sacks. So I have some guaranteed money kind of no matter what when I do play AM versus just paying a lot of other people to play Frisbee.
Hashtag disc golf rich, folks. I think she helped us define that yet again.
That's it, yeah.
So give us a rundown on whale sacks. Oh, big putt. Give us a rundown on whale sacks. If people want to reach out to you, we've obviously talked about you and you've supported my video blogs.
Of course.
But give everyone the quick pitch here.
Whale sacks. It's my little goofy company but very effective. Holy crap.
They agree. They
yeah,
agree.
they love it. They love it.
Everyone loves whale sacks.
It's a tie-on grip bag that has clay and powder on the inside. The whole point is that it's shaped like a whale, so the tail ties on, and they work amazing for humidity and when it's just too hot. I do custom orders and custom printed if there's enough of them. I've gotten a lot of orders for players packs and stuff lately. That's a big thing right now, which is good.
Yeah.
Keeps me busy, but it's...
I think you'd love it if TD said, well, I've got 90 players, can I order 110 whale sacks?
And
I'll sell
that's
extras.
what's been happening. It's fun. It's great. It's exciting. It's a lot of work for just me. I make everyone myself.
Small businesswoman problems here? I mean,
I guess so.
Oh, no, I've got too many orders.
Too much business. It's the worst.
No, that's awesome.
No, it's good because I can just do it at home and on the road. Actually, Drew Gibson helped me make one at Duke's yesterday.
Drew and sewing. I'm sorry, don't go hand in hand.
He just turned one inside out for me.
Okay.
I think I got two done by the time he had one done. Give me another one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Thank you for the help, Drew.
Well, I would like to add on to that finally and say thank you. Obviously, nice, solid playing, but also thank you for supporting the video blogs and the efforts I've been doing. I think people are getting on board with the, find your whale sack.
I've heard great things, and I've had people reach out to me specifically because they found it. I'm like, well, you're supposed to do this thing, but now that we're talking, it's worked out well.
Speaking of finding a whale in the water, you stayed OB free today? Is that the plan today, tomorrow, and the next day? What's the plan?
I did not stay OB free.
Was it water
I had
or
one
otherwise?
silly upshot, and it was a good upshot for the record. But it did pick up and roll into the water, but I got my disc back. The other ones weren't so bad. I'm going to play really safe. That's my plan.
Okay.
I went out to Fountain Hills and watched the pros today and learned a lot about playing safe. And I think if I can do that, I think I'll be fine as long as my putting's on. That was my main problem today.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say to everyone out there that's watching, supporters or fans and friends, family, any of that?
I guess just there's a lot of love in the disc golf community, my direction specifically, and thank you everyone who supported Whale Sacks, and also Terry.
Yes, I'm glad.
Show the love for the disc golf world. It's a small one, so we got to take care of each other.
I'm glad to do it whenever I can. Everybody wants to know what's the website?
owhales.com.
As in ohwhales.com.
Oh whale. That's the point.
Oh, well. All right, so they can check it out. They can make their orders. Handmade.
Absolutely.
I know you say handmade in Oregon or Portland, but now they're handmade in any given...
Wherever I am on the road, pretty much. That's how that works.
When I saw you a month ago here in Arizona, you were putting together, making whale sacks. So
my free time. I don't stop working, pretty much.
I think I know how that goes. All right, well, thank you for stepping inside the Smashbox. Thanks for joining us. And we wish you luck the rest of the week.
Thank you for
having me. Maybe we'll catch up with you in the next couple nights or so.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right. And as we said, that is Tina Denitis of Whale Sacks. She has created an amazing product. If you want to go out and check it out, you can find her on the website, or as the video blogs continue to unroll, and you're going to have to go out and find one. Maybe you can find one inside a video blog and spot the whale. We use the hashtag Find Your Whale Sack, and you could win one for free. So, good stuff.
That's great.
Now, Johnny, what's been going on the board? I can't keep up with everything. We got all these people. We got hooting and hollering. What have people been saying out there?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
just general stuff. People talking about a little bit about the coverage today, a little bit about the results, which we haven't even hardly
Okay.
really even talked about. Honestly,
We really haven't.
this
We've had
is
so many great
so
people
many
and then
great guests.
a few. Let's and I think I did see Dana jump in.
Dana
We
is
can't
on
we
there.
can't bring him into the show, can we?
No,
No. Okay. So I'll do his job. I don't know what's new. We'll move in. We'll talk on the men's side real quickly. We said at Macbeth and LaCastro tied at 13, Lazard at 12, Nate Sexton right there at 11. So some no surprises there. We got Johnny McRae, Orem, Matt Bell, Felberg, Philo, and Wysocki, along with Zach Melton, all up there as well. So no real shockers or surprises there. It is worth noting LaCastro and Macbeth, their 43 is unofficially rated 1083.
it's not bad.
It's a good day of golf. And Macbeth, I heard that Nico had a bogey somewhere at some point is what I thought I heard, but I know Macbeth for sure did.
Yeah, he had that on that little.
Arguably the easiest hole on the course.
No, I'm going to disagree
Okay.
that it's not the easiest, but it is the shortest.
Shortest.
It's the peninsula hole where you basically throw a little hyzer shot. He threw it, and then he ran at a putt.
Yeah, he
and
threw it a little bit wide right. The
Yep.
wind pushed it over, if you were watching. The wind actually pushed it over a little more than he was looking for. And being the beast he is, he said, I'm going to try and run this 50-footer with water behind it. And I think it just nicked off the top of the basket or the side of the basket and found himself eventually dripping into the reclaimed wastewater.
Yeah, the
is
reclaimed
what that is.
wastewater, and then he had quite a comeback. It looked like a good 20-footer from the edge of that
At
water,
least.
and
Yeah.
he almost threw it up, stopped, re-straddled, put his opposite foot forward, and then quickly just jammed it. It was pretty amazing.
It was. We discussed the women already, thanks to Katrina Allen, and look forward to them tomorrow. And not a surprise, we've got Ken Climo besting the field today, busting out a 1065 rated opening round. He shot a 10 under par.
Were they at,
following?
were they at Fountain or Fiesta?
They were at
It
not
says
Fountain.
they
So
all
they must have.
yeah.
So they were actually out at Vista today.
Were they a 10 down at Vista? Wow.
I believe they were at Vista. That our good friend John Turlap, who's here from Wisconsin, he's playing in the Masters division. He was telling me about his round. So as I recall, they were out actually at Vista today. So par out there is 60, and Climo busted out the 50. So solid score. George Smith shot a 54, and Jonathan Baldwin shot a 54. And then leading out the card, this might be the story of the day, at least in that division for sure, is the 938 rated Tommy Guns.
Tommy Guns looks like Trujillo.
Yeah, Tommy Guns,
Yeah.
who I believe I spoke with in Arizona a month ago. He busted out. He's rated 938, and his opening round is rated 1024.
It's great that he's sandwiched between 2002 rated players, but in Baldwin and Shasta. So it's I'm not going to say that Climo's already won this, but he's given himself quite a head start. That's for sure.
Well, very impressive opening round for him. And we see Don Smith making his debut in Masters. Again, my good friend John Turlap shooting a +1 out there. So, and Patrick Brown's not too far off the pace. He's at a 4 under right now. And you could look for someone like Patrick Brown.
He could
make a move at any given minute as well.
He could go out to Fountain and shoot a 15. I mean, he's that type of player. He's got that type of skills. But he's got himself a new sponsor this year, so maybe he might be still learning his plastic.
Yep. And in the Masters women, I'm going to read some of the other pros. We see Sheila Kirkham, Discraft sponsored Sheila Kirkham,
Yep.
has a 1-stroke lead right now over Leanne. And in Grandmaster Men, the Technician. These courses are far from technical, I would say, but Joey coming over from the East Coast, Joey Mila shooting a 7 under par, and then Jim Oates, obviously a huge competitor right behind him. And there should be a good battle there. There's got some great players. It's tough to say after one day and all. And then in Senior Grandmasters, Neil Dambra, PDGA number 200. That's 200. Shooting a 2 under par, a 998 rated round. So very impressive by those guys. So we'll see what's going on tomorrow. I see some chatter on the board. Some people talking about Nico. He was walking around during the round, and I went up to him, asked, and said, "Hey, could we get you on and interview you?" And the timing of it didn't pan out. Not that I approached him. I wanted to. He agreed to it. We just didn't quite fit it in during the live broadcast. But Nico is out there watching the action as well today. So he's a fan of the game. He wants to see what these other guys are doing, and coming off the weekend that he had at Gentlemen's Club, I know he's a fierce competitor, and I think you're going to see him fighting hard for this one this year as well. And he's won it in the past, so it should be interesting.
I agree. So talk a little bit. I was going to say, talk a little bit about Anthony Barella today. He had arguably probably the most pressure on him of that card. It's his debut year in Open. He's the AM World Champion. We saw last year Jake Leputka was put in the same position, and clearly, just based on scores, Anthony was able to hold up under that pressure a little bit better than Jake was last year. But I mean, he's not only that, he is sponsored by Spinners on the Green, and he's a hometown boy. So there's a lot going. I don't know if you'd say for or against him on that round, but it's his first time.
So
it's his
I can
first time on SmashBoxx live.
Well, he may have been his first time live.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, I did some interview pieces with him and Paul Macbeth and Nate Sexton and Tommy Ekman. I did all of those over at Anthony Barella's house the other night, and there wasn't enough time to kind of assemble them, and the audio was just off. But one of the questions I asked before I let him get off to his bedtime, because he did have to go to bed for school the next day. So a few nights ago, I asked him, and I said, where does pressure come from for you? And he said, me from his locals. There's so many people rooting for him, and they're not doing it in a negative or a bad way, but there's so many people rooting for him that he doesn't want to let them down. And it was crystal clear today as he was out on that course. People were pulling for him. You're talking about 3 of the best players in the world on that card with him, and then this up-and-coming young stud. And the loudest cheers of the day were for him, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
We can just quickly reference the near throw-in from 350 feet for the Eagle 2 that he almost made on hole 2.
Should we show it?
Well, let's do this. If you're geared up, thanks to some creative work on your end and whatnot, if you're geared up for it, can we talk about and show the top 4 or 5 shots of the day?
Sure. Here, I've got 4 shots in order that they came, and Terry, you should be able to see them actually if you take a look at our screen. We're going to start off with hole 1 and Anthony Barella, and the sound is gone, Terry, so they're going to continue to hear us while we talk. So I'm going to show that right now. Right now they're seeing Anthony Barella walk up to his putt on hole 1. Now he has he's a good ways behind that circle.
Yes, he's outside the circle's edge for sure. And this is the first hole of the tournament.
Yeah, the very first hole, right, that as we call it, a death putt.
Yes.
A death putt right towards that reclaimed water. And he, cold as ice, nailed it. What a way to start out your tournament.
If there's ever been, as they would say, like an adrenaline shot in the arm or a boost of confidence, hitting that putt gets you started off. Someone could miss that putt, roll into the water, knees are knocking a little bit. You miss a little 15-foot comebacker. You take a 5, and you feel like your tournament's just, shot down the tubes. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, but you feel like it.
I-
But then for Barella to do the opposite and can it, like,
I'd have
I
laid
got
up.
goosebumps when I saw it live.
Oh yeah, so did I. I'd have laid up. I was thinking right there. I'm thinking like, what's taking him so long? That's an easy layup right there. I mean, why start your tournament on a bad note is all I kept thinking, and then he just dead solid. So that's clearly why they separate.
Great putt. I think speaking of great putts, I think we probably just heard one taking place. I know they're getting closer and closer for their semifinals. So Anthony Barella, amazing shot.
If that wasn't enough, after a little backup on hole 2, we get to watch this shot that he pulled off. So he's, halfway up the fairway on hole 2, launches some driver out there, skips up, hits the top of the basket, so to speak, with the cage. I guess I don't know how you'd say that, but bounces up under, tickles some chains, and then kind of falls out, almost as if he was robbed.
Yeah, it was. Again, I know I speak of the eruption, rightfully so. I don't care who's throwing that shot. It was awesome to watch. I mean, talk about starting off your round with some fireworks. A solid putt on 1, and then turning around and nearly putting in for the eagle 2. You'd have to check the tape. If they heard the audio, I probably screamed like a little girl again.
You did. I think you said like, "Oh my God!" No, I think it was an "Oh my God."
OMG. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have a hard time controlling my emotions sometimes out here when I'm watching some of the best golf in the world.
Someone's saying that was a Sexton Firebird that they're pretty sure he threw there.
I'm pretty sure it was. I saw him throwing it multiple times throughout the day. A Nate Sexton Tour Series Firebird. So,
sure.
Great shot by him. Before we go any further, I do want to give another shout out, another plug for Charles Holtz. Again, he is tonight's podcast sponsor. We ran a little contest. A bunch of different people got in.
Yep.
Charles Holtz of Monster House Disc and Dies is tonight's podcast sponsor. So I want to thank Charles. I'm going to follow that up a step further and say tomorrow night's sponsor is, in fact, a new friend of the show in Boom. You're seeing their hats everywhere. You're seeing their gear pop up. He's been a huge supporter now. He wanted to step inside the Smashbox. He became a podcast sponsor for tomorrow night, and he's the broadcast sponsor for the entire week. So a huge shout out to both of those guys, Charles and Josh. We appreciate it. And Boom is on board. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, both of you guys. So
All right, Johnny.
Our next shot, not Anthony Barella. And a lot of people don't consider this a highlight, so to speak, as much as I do. But it's Nate Doss on the Peninsula hole out there. I believe that's hole... Is that 7? I think it's...
No, that would be hole 8.
It's 8, hole 8. From where he was, he had a bad drive and ended up... that was pretty quick. He ended up about halfway up the fairway, pulls out a challenger, and parks it with that wind, with everything there. And to me, I think that's one of the hardest shots in disc golf is that long putt, and especially hitting that mounded peninsula. He just put it without, there was no thought to it. I mean, clearly that's why he's a 3-time world champ. But those are the type of shots. I love to watch the Barella skip ace, almost skip ace, fairway ace, whatever. But it's those shots that really get me excited about watching these pros. Just the way they can easily do something that we all think that we should step up and do, and half of us are going to go in the water on that hole. It's phenomenal.
Well, what I'll say to further your point, throwing over water, whether it's 100 feet or 200 feet or 300 feet, there's always a little element of second guessing. And in that case, when you're throwing to a peninsula, you have to be right on with your power. You come up short, you could go OB. You hit and you go long, you're OB.
Yeah.
You know, you saw it off, so to speak, you're OB. Our professionals make those approach shots look so routine and so easy that I'm not sure everybody understands just how difficult they really are, and what it takes to execute them as effortlessly as they do.
Most of us would walk up to there and think, I'm going to pull up my mid-range, something stable, kind of hyzer it onto the peninsula, but clearly the smart play is throw directly straight at it and hope not to flip your disc or hyzer out early. So good for Nate. Good for Nate. He didn't
and
have
what we said.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say to further that point as well. He was able to go at it a little bit straighter, and he went at it with a challenger, with a putter. And anytime you're able to throw a putter, you're looking for that to stop as quickly as possible.
Yep.
And so that talks about the strategy of what he's doing there and how well he executed it. You throw a mid, obviously you throw a driver, so much more of a chance for it to skip. So there's a little bit of a pro tip right there for everyone at home. If you can dial it in and you can learn to throw that putter perfectly flat, it's going to pay off dividends for sure. So pay dividends.
And even though I don't have it here, I want to give a little shout out to Barella's putt on hole 10. He was outside the circle, wide right, with some trees looking kind of tight. Some people say he might even have ricocheted off the trees and put it in. I couldn't see it from the angle that we had, but it was a phenomenal putt. So shout out to them. So our final highlight of the day is none other than Paul Macbeth on hole 11, the one hole with trees on it, right by the green. Paul came up 35 short and solidly just does what Paul does. Puts in a putt, walks up, pulls it out without a problem, and continued his streak of dominating that course.
Yeah, he was on a roll. I mean, as we said, he was on a roll. He started out getting the first 5 holes. 6. He got the first 6 holes, and then, ironically enough, bogeyed hole 7. So, and then he picked right back up and got right back on. That's what obviously professionals do and players of his level do. They shake off a bogey, they move on, they recover, and he did just that today. So, pretty solid play, that's for sure.
Yeah. So there, to be honest, and there wasn't a heck of a lot after that. Not that I recall. It seemed pretty standard, as much as those deuces are. A couple little mistakes by our players, but no real highlights. So,
well, one thing I'm going to answer. I have not been able to follow a lot of the questions on the board. However, one person had asked and said if somebody came down with the flu 3 days prior to a tournament, is it a legitimate reason for withdrawal? It's a legitimate reason, but that does not guarantee you a refund. So, and I hate to sound morbid, your grandmother could pass away this morning, and you could say, hey, I can't make it. My grandmother passed away. There's no obligation, especially at an event of this level. There's not an obligation for the tournament to refund that player. So I hope that's answering your question. Again, maybe I went extreme and morbid, but you are not guaranteed any kind of a refund. You could get one. That's the discretion of the tournament director. However, you are not guaranteed one. It could be flu. You could have been hit by a train yesterday. Whatever the case may be, legitimate reason to withdraw, sure. Is it grounds, or are you guaranteed a refund? Careful. Absolutely not. So I hope that clarifies it for the question on the board. And joining me, we're going to get close. You're stepping inside the Smashbox, buddy. Joining us here in the studio, our condensed Smashbox studio, I'm joined by Marty Gregoire, Media Marty, as we call him. And Marty, we saw you out on the course today. We had a really good time out there. Tell us from a media perspective, how did things go for you today as the national tour of 2016 kicked off?
Well, let me just start off by saying, it's the first tournament back, so a little rusty. And I don't know if anyone saw the Facebook post. I'm allowed to post on the Memorial Facebook page. I was going through helping with uploading the scores. I messed up one little thing, and all of a sudden some men were in the women's divisions, and things weren't, let's say they weren't accurate. got about 800 text messages immediately.
Of course.
That should all be fixed now. I believe we have tee times up for all the different divisions at this point. But from a media perspective today, it really doesn't get better than Fountain Hills. I mean, it's like the easiest place to take a picture or a video, and people are like, wow, that looks amazing. Because pretty much any direction you point your really good camera or even your crappy phone camera, it's going to come out looking really nice. And, I really love it out there. I'm excited to see Fiesta Lakes tomorrow. However, if you've seen the scores, they're super close. I mean, there's like 30 people or something tied at like 6 down in 12th place. I mean, anything can still have. There's a lot of golf left, so there's plenty to talk about. There's plenty of stuff that can happen, and we're excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, we are. And now, as we've already announced to everyone, we're excited. They've pushed the women or moved the women or flip-flop the women into the afternoon spots. And we're excited at Smashbox to go out and cover the women's leader card.
Yeah.
We know there's going to be a great battle taking place over at Fiesta out there. You, like us, are probably constantly strongly suggested upon to cover certain things and to give certain updates and stories. How do you combat that when everybody wants everything covered?
So, I mean, what happens a lot is we come to these national tour events. They send literally 2 people. They send me and the events manager, Mike Downs. We have to help do a million different things, but I think what people need to understand is we're there because of the NT. Now, most of these NTs are actually an NT combined with an AT. And we don't have the physical presence or the time or the amount of sleep to try to cover every division. And our job is to cover the people that can actually qualify for the NT series where they earn points. So, I mean, we have to cover the open men. We have to cover the open women. I'm telling you that as an advanced player that should probably, at this point, be playing an intermediate or worse. I don't know. I don't get to play anymore because I work for disc golf. I'm sure you know the feeling. But, I'm there to make sure that everything on the national tour side goes well. And I don't have any problem, if someone says, hey, what, can't you tell me who's winning in advanced grandmasters? And I will tell them, not really. I mean, not till I see the results or I upload the wrong results. Sorry about that. And, I mean, that's pretty much my response. It's like, we got 2 guys here, me and one of, I mean, we were out there before anybody else. We leave after everyone else. And then after I do this, I still have to go write an article that's covering the whole day, post that.
And post our links so everybody knows where they can find on Smashbox.
Yeah, constantly posting stuff on Facebook and Twitter and making sure that I'm getting this information to as many people as possible. And I guess my response would be like, hey, man, I'm doing all I can. And I'm making sure that I'm doing what my actual job is, and I'll throw in whatever extra I can when I have the time. And I wish we had, 10 people here to cover every division. We just don't. So that's just where we're at the moment.
Okay. Well, and I wish, and Johnny V wishes, and our whole crew wishes, we had 35 cameras out there, or 50 cameras, or people covering every hole, all over every division. And as you said, it's ultimately right now. The reality is, it comes down to resources and or money that are resources and whatever. So we're growing, we're expanding, we're getting as much coverage out there as we can, and that goes for every event. Nobody ever says, man, I can't wait to stick it to the public and not show them any good stuff.
Oh, we love not showing you more disc golf.
No, of course not.
You should see all the footage we're not showing you.
yeah, if you could only see all the footage we're not showing you. So I, on behalf of Smashbox, Johnny V and myself want to also say thank you for the support. The PDGA has stepped up and you're doing so much for the events on site, in person, with all those resources and Steve Gans and all the amazing people back at the office. Mm-hmm. But then on a financial level, we're seeing that the PDGA has stepped up and has decided that, Smashbox is a live entity that can provide disc golf. And so we appreciate your support when you guys can give it.
I mean, right back at you because, we've watched what you guys have been doing for the last couple of years. I talk to you off camera all the time. I know how hard you're working. it's really just sort of, there's not much else I can say about it. Like you guys are out there doing you're at tournaments that I'm not at. I literally, I sit and watch your 3 to 4 hour podcast every week because I'm getting my news from there half the time. I need, you have a great rapport with the players. You're getting interviews. You're getting information that most people don't have. So I'm really happy to be a part of that. Really happy with the PDGA, which, I'm also a part of the PDGA, but I'm just happy that the whole organization is now behind it, and that we can be partners for this. And
well, we're gonna follow that up with a couple of things. The PDGA is supporting SmashBoxx. We thank them so much. One of the many ways that they have supported us is with a new member code, and it's gotten all ironed out. There was a glitch in it at one point, but now it's all ironed out. So if you use SmashBoxx New 20, and that's SmashBoxx New 20, that will get you 20% off becoming a brand new PDGA member. That's again with our collaboration with SmashBoxx. We appreciate it. We want new members. We get all these people tuning in to watch disc golf live and otherwise, and that's a great way that we can do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we
really
love these codes that we can offer the different media vendors. I know just last year alone, I think we had close to 500 new members join using Dynamic Disc Code.
Awesome.
I'm sure if I got in the database, I could find out.
Probably like 3,000 SmashBoxx
probably
codes.
Like 50, 60,000 new members just
Probably.
from SmashBoxx and the Smashies.
Yeah.
But I definitely use that. What is it? Say again?
SmashBoxx New 20.
Yeah, so when you go to the pdga.com/join or /membership or /renew, they all go to the same page.
Yep.
That you will get to a point where you can enter that coupon.
You can, if you're a new member, hence the new. So SmashBoxx New 20. Before we let you go, Marty, I'm going to also throw out we're going to give him an extra plug because he's a super good guy. Josh over at Boom says Boombox16, and that's Boom with 3 O's. And I like the X, the box with 2 X's, just like us. So Boombox16 will get you a discount over if you're shopping with the guys at Boom. So make sure you do that. So we're going to cut you loose. You got work to do. You've got articles. Johnny, you got anything else for us?
No, I'm not going to put him on the spot this week. There's a burning question, but it's more of a PDGA question. So we'll let you off the hook.
Ooh.
Wait, what is it now?
It's a burning PDGA question.
There's a lot.
No, thank you.
No.
Yes,
no.
I was gonna say
I have a
there's.
feeling I already know what you're talking
Yes.
about, and we'll have to address that at a different time.
We'll talk about.
He's only here so he doesn't get fined.
That's right. We'll talk about that on a regular podcast some night. It'll be great.
All right.
So I just want to say, everyone, tune in tomorrow for the SmashBoxx live feed. If you're lucky, you get to see me like awkwardly walking past the camera holding my phone. We'll have live scores on pdgalive.com. The women's event tomorrow is going to be awesome. They're like so much better than
99% of the other players anywhere in the world.
Yeah, let's just say
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play against them.
No,
and I love
they would
watching
crush
them,
you all.
And it's always a good time. And Fiesta is really a beautiful course, and it's so different than what you see out here in Scottsdale and Fountain Hills. So it's nice to have this new mix where it's not just hyzer.
Yeah.
This course is a lot more difficult.
Well, there you go.
For the most part.
All right. Again, this is Marty Gregoire. He goes by Media Marty.
The man.
I think we have the man. We've got other nicknames for you, but this is Marty Gregoire from the PDGA. Huge thanks, huge props, big hug, all that good stuff. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Right.
And we appreciate all the work you guys are doing, you and Michael Downs and the rest of the PDGA.
Thank you, man.
All
I
right,
look forward
thanks.
to seeing you at all the NT events.
Yeah, you will.
Right.
All right, that was Media Marty. He's going to step out. Don't trip on this spot right there. I'm telling you, I have a trick picnic table that we're set up on here tonight, and the legs they come out in an awkward spot, and then we have them guarded by a tablecloth. So that's why you always hear me yelling at people not to trip or fall. They would smash their face more like, yeah. Anyway.
We're just worried about our equipment, let's be honest.
Okay, maybe just a little bit. And so speaking of that, real quickly, I'd like to say tomorrow night, I'm not sure just yet where we're going to be set up, where we're going to be doing our SmashBoxx podcast. We've got a couple different ideas. We want to find where the players are. We want to have the interactions, the people that have come in tonight. We're so happy. we'll go out on we'll let you in a little spoiler alert, a little inside secret here. I had 0 interviews planned coming into 90 minutes ago. So the fact that we can work with these people, get our top players in here, get our media crew and the PDGA representation, I'm just ecstatic about it. And that's kind of what we want to do at all of our wrap-up shows, is give you guys some idea of, other things going on besides just the golf you saw earlier in the day. So
I just noticed I was wearing my phone headphones for no reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, some people wondered why I was wearing them today too. A couple comments out on the board. Years ago, he played at the Memorial with Greg Schwartz after he played the tough round, told immense pressure he felt. Yeah, okay, we can understand that. Wow, a lot of people promoting their YouTube pages lately is a question or a comment, I guess. They need to replace Fiesta with one of our desert courses out there. Only makes sense. Maybe, maybe not. I like the variety of what's going on out there. And is AB in the house? AB's probably in his house. It's probably past his bedtime.
Oh, it definitely is.
It's 9:30. No, he's not in the house again. We didn't know to what extent the players would be here. But
like, my question was, did he have a half day of school today? Like, was he?
No, I asked him that. I actually said, well, you don't tee off till, 2 o'clock. Will you go in and get a half day of school in? And it was funny. He told me, with regards to his touring and him wanting to play golf, you can only miss so many days of school, understandably.
Yep.
And he's a good upstanding student. And so he has to really pick and choose, hey, sorry, school, I've got to go play in this national tour event as an up-and-coming pro looking at my rookie pro season. It's kind of funny when you think about disc golf and where it's taking everyone. So if everyone didn't notice, tonight, just like today, very raspy voice. Obviously, I apologize as much as I can about that. Johnny, was there any second guessing or questioning about my voice today?
Yeah, there were some people asking about it. I had said you were getting over some sort of bronchitis issue, some bronchial thing. So that's, they were saying that you were just trying to make your voice deeper to impress Madison. I mean, really.
Not sure about that. But we do have some more media royalty. I'm going to tell him not to trip on, there's a little bar right there, not to, yeah. And he's going to join us here for a few moments.
Oh.
Those are usually mine.
Oh,
I'm just
nice.
Oh, wait.
On in.
Oh, we're breaking up now. We got to go. Sorry, guys.
Okay,
Whatever.
All right, welcoming to our show, stepping inside the Smashbox, I've got Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, the Slick Breezy Heezy for Sheezy.
I've been called all sorts.
Yeah, we've got names for you too.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Brown here. Bobby, you're out here in a different role. You're in a media role and capacity with DD this week. Taking photos, taking video. Tell everyone what you're doing.
Well, I'm taking photos and a little bit of video for the Dynamic Disc team. It's always beautiful weather out here and such a beautiful background at all the courses that it makes for a perfect scenario to grab photos to be put in like ads or commercials and stuff like that. So, of course, it always gives me an excuse to come and get away from the cold weather. So I always make sure I try to talk everybody into letting me come out here. But
speaking of colds, are you getting over the same thing I am?
Yes. I've got some crud going on in my throat, and it's a little frustrating to be in this beautiful weather and not be able to enjoy it to the full extent when you've got a lot of congestion going on.
Yeah, I hear you. I actually feel fine. I just sound horrible. So hopefully I can continue to be on the mend. And before we go any further, we're going to give the shout out that's due. I believe Ken Parks had aced hole 17 at Vista today.
Nice.
We're not going to mention it's the shortest hole at Vista. We're just going to say congratulations, Ken Parks.
Nice.
That's awesome on getting the ace. It'd be even more awesome if somebody got it on film, whether that was a camera phone or something. But so you're here, you're busy, you're working, and we don't have him here in studio yet. We'll talk to him later in the week. But our good friend Eric McCabe, the other half of Disc Golf Answer Man, sounds like he had to withdraw. Now, was that mid-round, or was that
No,
prior to the round kicking
I
off
don't think he
today?
ever got even started. He's having some issues with his knee.
Yep,
I
for the
know that
last
he
few
was-
weeks now.
Yeah, he was experiencing that. He had wasn't able to finish a tournament in Texas because of his knee, and it's still bothering him. And I think he actually has some of the crud that I have as well. I think that's kind of going around at the warehouse at Dynamic Discs. But yeah, unfortunately, with a heavy heart, he had to withdraw. I know Eric, and I know he's very disappointed. He did not take this lightly. I mean, he drove, 12, 15 hours to get here. You're not going to do that just to drop out unless you absolutely felt it was necessary.
Well, that's too bad. We hate seeing that. And speaking of injuries, it was asked on the board as to Eagle Win McMahon. He wasn't able to compete because I think he broke a fingernail on a Prius. No, he seriously though, he hurt his finger, slammed his finger in a Prius back at the wintertime a few weeks ago.
Okay.
He was sitting in second place, just one stroke behind Macbeth, going into Sunday morning's round.
Oh, wow.
One of the few people that looked like he might catch the beast. And we're not going to say it was a whale sax Prius driven by Tina, but sounds like he hurt it pretty bad and had to withdraw. And so that took him out of the Gentleman's Club. That took him out of this event as well. So
Didn't somebody else get injured, or somebody else had the job? Like Zoe?
Zoe's feeling sick. However, she competed today.
Oh, she did? Okay, good.
So from what we've heard, so big hugs out to Eagle. We know you're usually a smash. He chimed in. And also, of course, big hugs out to Zoe. We hope that you're feeling better. Now, Bobby, what is... Someone actually challenged and said, shouldn't you be live on Facebook somewhere?
I know.
We probably should.
Oh, God.
Let's do it.
Very good here, actually.
Okay. Johnny, now's your time. We've got him here. We can grill him. What do you got for Bobby?
Oh, Disc Golf Answer Man. What do we have for the Disc Golf Answer Man? Oh, where's
You got questions?
Where's Paige?
I mean, he is...
Where's Paige Bjerkes?
Yeah, where's she?
Paige is back in Emporia.
Okay.
Going to school and hopefully pulling some orders right now. No, maybe not. Yeah, she's concentrating on her schoolwork, which she very much should be.
Yes.
And I know that she was disappointed not being able to come out here, but she's doing what she needs to do for school.
Okay.
Another hashtag sounds like hashtag disc golf priorities.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Makes perfect sense. You know, when these kids have school, I think they're doing the right thing by being where they should be and what they're doing. All right,
here we go. Now
All
we're
right.
going
Wow,
live.
I've never been live on Facebook
Yes,
before.
this is Facebook Live.
This is some kind of weird inception.
I know, we're like double
Facebook Live.
So we're saying hi while I'm on the SmashBoxx podcast. It's been a dream of mine to be on SmashBoxx, so a dream fulfilled, absolutely for sure.
Well,
And to
and
be this close to Terry, I like to be this
oh,
close
come
to
on, you
Terry.
love it.
Oh, you guys get mistaken for each other enough.
Yeah,
I know,
inside
yeah.
the
By the way, we are different people.
different people. I did get myself. I get criticized or asked a lot about. Did you sunscreen today? Yes, I sunscreened again today,
You're kind of
and
red
I'm
on the cheeks
still
there.
red. It's a little warm here, but I'm red.
Yeah.
And
It was pretty hot today.
it was.
I
What
will-
do you think about the weather that we're going to see the
Well,
next
I mean,
few days?
it's beautiful weather, obviously, but when I left, it was 27 degrees, and it was 2 in the morning, and then as soon as we got here, it's in the 80s. We hit the ground running, we grab a taco, we eat real quick, and then we go to the course, and I'm already in the hot sun taking pictures. I had forgotten my hat. I could feel it burn in my head, my bald head. So it's a little bit of a climate change for sure, but a welcome change as I'm enjoying the nicer weather.
Well, if you see me tomorrow, we've got multiple cans of sunscreen. You're
Okay,
more
good.
than welcome to some. I'd be glad to share it with you. And also, as talking about on the board right now, Dustin Keegan, who's part of that whole Zotron caravan, also is feeling a little bit under the weather,
Wow.
I believe. So, but it looks like he went out and shot relatively well here today. Yeah, best of luck to them. It's kind of going around, and as you know, our disc golf, a lot of those guys travel together,
Yeah.
and sharing a lot of the same germs, whether it's at a house or in a car. So hopefully everybody feels better about it.
Looks like
Now,
I've got questions on mine.
Oh, there's questions. Oh, I don't know, Johnny. Should we be taking questions off his live feed? Yeah, let's do
Sure,
it.
let's do
What do
it.
you got?
Let's take a question.
Where are we at? We're at what's it called?
Boulders on Southern
Yes.
is where we're at. This is the home of the official Memorial Championships players party and putting competition.
Yes.
So that's where we are, Boulders on Southern.
And I had some thin crust pizza, and it's a very, very good pizza.
I saw a deep dish being delivered. I saw a thin crust, and I haven't eaten since 8:15 this morning.
Oh, gosh.
I'm missing out.
Yes, you are. It was a good pizza.
Bobby, did you participate in the putting contest at all?
No, I did not.
Okay.
There is a reason why I am in media. I don't do well at disc golf. I love playing disc golf, but if I'm going to try to have any kind of financial reward, it's going to be working disc golf media, not playing disc golf.
Well,
All
here's a question. Here's a question for you, Bobby. You guys do your own podcast, Disc Golf Answer Man. So anyone out there, go ahead and subscribe to that. But
yes, we do.
what's
Thank you very
what is the question that you're done answering? You're done. You're just done with it. Like
if you never saw it come again, what would be that question?
How do I get more distance?
okay.
Fair enough.
I know it's a legitimate question, but people ask it over and over again. And there's oftentimes I just want to tell people, go listen to episode 10 through 25.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we've answered that question before.
Well, and it's got to be real difficult, especially, I mean, we do video, but we don't do anything like that. And you guys just do audio. So having someone ask that question has got to be virtually impossible.
Absolutely. And we knew that going in, that there were going to be questions that were just going to be difficult to answer because we only have audio and not video. So we, obviously we try to do our best. But yeah, I mean, and because there's so many different variables, I guess when people just simply say, how do I get more distance? Well, how are you throwing now? What is your distance now?
Sure.
Are you backhand or forehand? So that generality kind of, not that I don't appreciate all the questions, but that generality sort of gets old.
Okay. No, I can understand that. And then I would just say, I don't know. I don't throw far. That's what I don't know. Good question. I can put the disc in the basket, but throwing it far, not so much.
And last question, because I haven't listened to the newest episode. What are your picks for this week? Who do you got? Now that EMAC is out of the picture, you don't have to feel guilty not picking him.
and we're 25% in, so you got a little bit of a slant. But
my pick was going to be Macbeth on top.
Okay.
Wysocki coming in at second. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to be a close battle, if it would come to a playoff, so I didn't really predict on that. Then I thought Coling was going to be able to show again that this is a good course for him, and that he's super talented. And then I really think Felberg is going to show us that even though I hate to say Felberg's getting up in age, but he's not some of these young guns, but he still is very talented. And I think he'll round out that fourth.
And he literally lives across the street from Vista's course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming I would think he plays this all the time. He knows the weather and he's used to the weather, so I think he could do really well. And looking at the scores right now, all my picks are totally doable and could win out in the end. Congrats to Nico Castro for shooting a very nice round. I hate to say that I'm a little surprised. Not that I don't think Nico has the ability, but I don't remember him doing that well so soon here at this event. Now I could be wrong. You obviously, Terry, have more experience, but I don't remember him doing that well so soon in this event.
He's got one win here.
Early.
Yeah, he's got one win here for sure. Maybe two?
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Yep. I believe we argued about this, discussed this on the podcast a few weeks ago. I don't know if it was 2008 or 2010, his win, but yeah, he's got a win here. So we know that, and obviously he's got it in him, but it's been a while.
Now, I guess my question is how the Fiesta course is rather new, right? Is it new from last year?
Yes, this is only the second year that it's been in. It's on a ball golf course.
So do you think it's going to be a deciding, like, is it going to really mix things up since it's such a newer course?
No, it's a scorer's course.
Okay.
You need to, we saw Simon Lizotte literally miss one putt last year. And I'm sorry, I don't recall the exact number of what he shot, whether it's 15, 16, 17 under, whatever it was. He literally missed one putt and just destroyed it. So, Yuli said earlier, at least 8 under.
Yeah.
I think that's on the low end of a decent round. Like we're going to see more than that.
I think you're going to see average of we'll just say the top 50 pro. We'll say top 25 pros. You're going to see at least on average 10 down. Those guys, they should just be. If you're not shooting 10, you're losing ground.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of birdies out there, and as we've announced, I don't know if you even know, we're covering the women's lead card out there tomorrow.
Oh, nice, very nice.
So we're going to, spread the love, and
Right.
we've talked with Kat, and Madison co-commentated with me today. We're super excited about it. I may be alone in my commentary, but we're excited that we're going to be out there to be able to cover the women's.
So I guess there's really not going to be much change to the lineup we're seeing after Fiesta. It'll probably be more when they go back, or when they go to the Vista, we'll probably see the more change up.
There could be. I mean, I think that's maybe a challenge, or not quite a criticism, but a challenge
Right.
at Vista is the fact that there's a lot of holes where the women seem kind of to score similar, actually. Because maybe they're just tweener holes for their throwing styles or whatever. So there's a lot, unless it's windy, it's easy for them to score very similarly. At Fiesta, if you get hot, like I said, these women could be shooting 15 under.
Right.
So we'll see how things shake up tomorrow. All I know is I'm excited for it.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. I'm excited for it.
Very excited to see
So,
this golf.
so what? I'm going to go back to a question for you though. What's a question you wish you would be asked or asked more of?
Wow. That's a good question. What's a question I wish asked more of? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Are you surprised that people don't ask about X, or man, I'm surprised no one sends in about Y, or anything like that?
No, not really.
Because you've heard it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've heard it all now. People come at it with a little bit different perspective, or they tell us a little bit more about themselves, and so it comes at a different angle, similar questions. I'm still in awe that we still get the amount of questions that we get. Now, a lot of it is new listeners. A lot of people say that they're now just catching up with their episodes, so they're kind of repeat questions, and we go ahead and answer those. But
That's because we're pushing people to your podcast. All of our Smashies are starting to.
Yes, and I do appreciate that. But we still. I mean, I think we're probably still 50 questions behind, and we get, I would say, an average of 7 to 15 questions a week that come in, which is really awesome.
And how do they go about doing that? Where can they find you?
They can go to discgolfanswerman.com, and they submit your question tab, and you can just click on that and send the question in, and he'll put it in the queue, and we'll see if we can get it on the air.
Okay. Well, we're going to cut you loose. This has been a great opportunity to let everyone know there's nothing but love from podcast to podcast, broadcast to broadcast. Disc Golf Answer Man, Smashbox. We always love to throw out the joking little jabs here and there, but they're all in jest. They're all in good fun. We're excited for the national tour to move on to over into Emporia.
Yes.
We're excited to be there. We're excited to be covering it
Absolutely.
and having our little tiny spot in that massive operation that you guys have going on in the Class Blown
absolutely.
Open.
I'm thrilled to have you guys back with even a bigger role in GBO 2016 for the live coverage. I'm excited to have Central Coast Disc Golf, the Disc Eye, Jomez Production to come to bring you guys what I believe is some of the best media coverage that can be found out there. And I will say the love is there, JV and Terry, until the GBO showdown, the media showdown.
Snap!
That's when all bets are off.
So you're saying that you're not going to like us after we crush you?
Ouch! Yeah, probably.
I think
Well, when EMAC has to pull out because of a knee injury, and you have Paige Bjorkis, who's probably gonna, that's she's probably gonna be better off than EMAC. I mean, you're in better hands with Paige probably than EMAC at this point.
We'll make sure that Eric is plenty healthy come GBO.
And we'll make
showdown.
sure that we have some big hug stickers to give to you guys by the time it's done. All right?
All right, good stuff, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Grab this. All right. Be careful. There you go. So there you have it. Lots of love, lots of people out here taking it all in. We've had a pretty awesome night here tonight. I'm not sure if we have Keith Murray in the house. I don't know if our production assistant in Miles Parkhill from Paragon, huge supporter. I think if he can find Keith Murray, we may have the tournament director step in just for a minute, and then we're going to start wrapping this thing up here tonight. So another plug. I'm going to say it. We appreciate it. Thank you to Monster House Disc and Dies out of Illinois, Charles Holtz. We appreciate it and look forward. I think we've got a few special guests possibly lined up when we have Boom presenting our podcast tomorrow night. So looking forward to that as well. Johnny, Dare I
Yeah, me?
ask, do we have anything else that's pressing that's in the queue here?
No, I'm actually kind of looking at some of the comments on our videos right now that people they appreciate the work that we put in. Apparently, Anthony straight up denied Macbeth at 3:08 on the podcast, so maybe he missed like a high five or something.
Oh, it must have been. I think that was probably right as we were getting to like the handshakes and the high fives or whatever prior to the round starting. So AB, I mean, he's like, yeah, you might be my mentor, but yeah, it's game time. So he probably threw down. Yeah, I mean, he maybe didn't even let AB maybe didn't even let his mom pack a sandwich for Paul to snack on today. I mean,
That could be.
who knows what was going on out there? So, the gloves come off. When it's time to, when you come to Arizona, the gloves come off for literally and figuratively, I guess. And an eruption there. Trying to read the board. What else do we have out there? We are working on footage. We're going to be working on a condensed version of the round that we recorded today. That's going to be worked on tonight into the wee hours, probably until tomorrow morning. And then hopefully we're going to get that posted as quickly as we can. We're going to have some extra added bonuses. We're going to have a lot of different things in the works, doing the best we can to get as much footage as we can out there. I'm going to give we joked about a Fitbit update. I'm actually disappointed. I only have 8,300 steps in for the day. Man, I must have been really direct while we were out there at Fountain, but I shoot for that 10,000.
I'll say, yeah, these players aren't they're not spraying as much as some of our other ones. So
they don't spray like the Fountain does?
They do not spray like the Fountain does. Somebody asked for a quick update on the Gentlemen's Club Challenge fantasy picks, and I'll say this. They were pretty miserable. We had one person get 2 points. That was Chainseeker66. He nailed 2 of the players in, I believe it was Philo and Simon Lazat. He grabbed. So
wow.
Other than that, no, it wasn't Simon. It was Philo and someone else actually. So he got 2 points. Didn't quite get him in the right spot. Other than that, everyone else is putting up donuts and ones. So.
Wow. So we weren't the only ones.
No,
that called it miserably.
It was a surprise. So we've got a ton of memorial picks, and we'll probably go through those next week in the after show. That's kind of a good after show thing for us to do.
Yep. And then also out there, Austin Turner, not here as a member of Team Discraft. I'm not sure of the reasoning for that as to what he's got going on, but no, I'm mildly surprised myself that Austin's not here. And a lot of people asking about Greg Barsby. Knowing that I have no update, I'm going to go ahead and just say he must still be on the mend. And I know he was frustrated with kind of the way things wrapped up last year with his elbow. As far as I know, there's no serious or significant updates. So not here, and that's about all I didn't know.
Yeah, I've only seen really one picture of him in the past 6 months. So.
All right, we're going to welcome, careful of that. We're going to welcome our last guest of the night, and it couldn't be more fitting. Come on in.
Oh, yeah.
Hop up, yeah, we get in tight here, and we're, there we go.
I'll be all right.
All right, all the other guests before him. All right. Anyway, so welcoming to the show, this is our tournament director and the man behind the scenes doing so much work and so many different things. We're joined here by Keith Murray. And Keith, day one is done. 25% of play. I didn't say the event. 25% of play is done. How do you feel, buddy?
Good. Feeling really good. Good day. A little slow on the tee times getting up, but that was just a couple little clerical errors, but we got that going. No, everything's going well so far. Gorgeous weather. Got a little windy at the fountain that I saw on the broadcast earlier. That was fun to watch. Let me just say you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Man, it's so awesome to have you guys out here. The work you've done, the drone work, love it. So,
thank you.
Couldn't be happier with the broadcast, and yeah, so far so good. Everything's really smooth, smooth.
Well, and now the putting competition's going on. I'll admit we're not as versatile as we'd love to be, but we've talked about it a little bit. Is it wrapped up? Do we have finalists?
We're getting pretty close. I know they were wrapping up the last few. When they did the last call, of course, there was a bum rush.
Of course.
But I must say that I think the last I looked at the list, there was 87 people.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a really good, big jump from last year. But we really got the word out. Sierra Nevada really helped spread the word. Ben over there is awesome. So that was great. And we really tried to push people, or just pump them up like, hey, this is going to be an awesome party. And what a great turnout. So we were super stoked for that.
Good. Awesome. Well, it's been an amazing night here. I don't believe we've actually been on for 2 hours here at the podcast. Wow. But we've had so many great people, Yuli and Kat and Jordan Castro and Tina from Whale Sacks. And just
that's sweet. There
so,
goes Pete Ulibarri Jr.
Yeah, Pete Ulibarri. So just so many great people that have stepped in and talked to us. Marty Gregoire from the PDGA stepping in, kind of giving us a media update. So it's been great and everything we were looking for in a wrap-up show.
Awesome.
Anything you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, let's just encourage folks to watch the rest of the broadcast. Be sure and tune in the rest of the week. It's going to be amazing golf. It's shaping up to be a gorgeous Saturday out at Fountain Hills. So the final should be out of sight.
Yeah.
We're really looking for some fun there. So just remind folks, hashtag Memorial Championship is the main thing this week. So if you got anything to say or any great pictures from around the area, we'd love to see them on hashtag Memorial Championship. And then hashtag Memorial Saturday, like we talked about on the Tuesday podcast before. Let's really pump that. I'd love to see your group photos, anybody getting together to watch the broadcast. Hashtag Memorial Saturday. It's going to be awesome.
Now, we don't know all the exact details or specifics that we're sharing just yet, but we know that we had roughly a full 50% increase in viewership today on the opening day.
That's awesome.
So I know we were somewhere around 2,500 or so concurrent users last year on the opening day. Today we were almost close to 4,000.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
it's awesome to see that it's grown. It's great to see people supporting it, tuning in. We had a great super card or featured card. And we're hoping that it only grows from here.
Right? We debuted, we made the announcement on the podcast, and I don't think it, was any issue. That card was fun to watch.
It was.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch as much of the broadcast as I would have liked. I did see our team spinner's own Anthony Varela land some nice putts.
Yes.
Hole 10, I saw him nail that. Awesome.
And did you hear about hole 2?
I heard about it. I wish I would have gotten to see that eagle run. Oh, man. So I will definitely watch him back. Yes.
It'll be out there, and we're working on a condensed round so people will be able to consume it a little bit easier in a shortened format. But I did mention on the podcast earlier, the loudest and most extensive cheers all day long at any point were for AB, for Anthony Barella.
There's not a nicer kid on the planet that I know of. And the whole family. So it's you can see where he gets it from. So his mom, Trina, his dad, Jason, his grandfather, Patrick. I mean, lights out, folks, And when they come to a tournament, man, the Barella clan comes a package, and they're all awesome players too,
Yeah,
and they all love the game. So, and you can really tell. A
family that plays together stays together.
That's right.
I think
Can't beat that.
That's an old school saying that's so true today. So, Johnny, unless you have anything else to add, I think we can go ahead and wrap this bad boy up.
I believe we can.
All right.
Oh,
so
there's Johnny.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
We're here and there.
I miss you, Johnny B.
I miss you too, Keith.
Yeah. So what I'd like to say, again, our podcast sponsor tonight being Monster House Disc and Dies. We appreciate it, Charles. We appreciate all of our broadcast sponsors, anyone that's been a part of any kind of advertising and support. We'd also love to give the plug for Spinners on the Green all week long. They're looking at a discount if they stop in. What is that?
10% off for all the players and, anybody too. Anybody coming out to watch, they want to come spectate. So Spinners on the Green in Scottsdale, Arizona. Come see us.
Come check it out on
spinnersonthegreen.com.
Spinnersonthegreen.com if you want to check them out. One of the coolest things that they do is they have an entire massive inventory of lost and returned discs. So if you lost something here a year ago, it still might be in the database. So come check that out. It's literally feet away from what's hole 1 at Vista this week. So make sure you check out Spinners on the Green, Sierra Nevada, Dukes. There's just so many
Boulders
on Southern we've talked about all night.
Justin, man, he has been great out here. They really are embracing disc golf as well. They have a number of disc golfers that work for it. Boulders on Broadway is who wins the Brewers Open the last 3 years. So their team comes out. They're awesome.
There's beer and disc golf. Go figure.
Crazy, right? Who would have thought?
Crazy. Who would have thought? So I'm going to close it up. I'm going to go ahead and say for our entire broadcast today, as well as all of our podcast supporters, sponsors, and guests, including Miles Parkhill, who's sitting right next to us at Paragon, and everyone else, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Look for live action for the women's leader card tomorrow at Fiesta Lakes, and then we will again find a great place to set up and do another podcast for you live tomorrow night to recap the day. So for Keith, for Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, for Johnny back home inside the Milwaukee studios, and for Dynamite, we love you, buddy. We're going to call it a night, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow when you step inside the Smash Box.